What is going on? It has been a minute. Looks like about a month, if not a little longer. Appreciate all of you tuning in. We got people over on Kick, Jean Franco. Please correct me in my pronunciation there. But tuning in from Brisbane, Australia. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Good morning to you. Shout out to Baron Darthside for the follow over on Kick. Appreciate you as always. Absolute legend. So happy you're here. Looks like we got a good amount of people in a few different channels. We love to see it. So tonight, a few things I want to address. One being just a brief little absence that I'm going to be taking from streaming myself, if that's a hint. But that being said, I'm still going to be on X, Twitter, still open for interviews, still open to going on other people's channels, spaces, whatever. That's absolutely on the table. But I'm going through some things right now that are awesome and very exciting, but will mean that this space behind me might be changing soon. Um, John Franco, thank you, awesome, appreciate that correction. And so yeah, this might be changing behind me soon. So that's the real reason behind the brief absence from video content on my end. That being said, I'm still very much working on the website. Appreciate your patience there. Some of the tools have been a little slow to update. I'm a few days behind on some of them, doing a lot of back-end optimizations, trying to change the way things are loaded so they're loaded faster. I hear you and I agree. Things like the stud burn are loading way too slowly. The fix is there, just got to get through it. I had some file corruption too, which didn't help. So I'm just rebuilding some things. So appreciate the patience. Shouldn't be too much longer, but things will be back and better than ever. I'm going nowhere. So absolutely no worries there at all. Big shout out to Noah S416 for the follow, Mustang WizKid 79 for the follow, and Weed and Sun for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, if you're watching me on Twitch, YouTube, or X, do me a favor if you can, if it isn't too much of a burden to you, head over to Kick and drop me a follow over there. I'm at 71 followers. I'm 4 followers away from hitting that special goal of 75. Once that happens, then I being honest, will look to monetize that a little bit. But regardless of what platform you're on, I appreciate you and thank you for tuning in. So tonight's stream is going to be a little different. It's going to be an edutainment stream, as always. And this one is going to be focused on breeding, specifically a breeding theory and a breeding strategy that I have used throughout my time in photo finish. It is one that I personally have had success with. Now, that being said, I cannot guarantee that you will have the same success if you follow this. I'm going to give you exactly what I did, exactly why I did it. We're going to go full on story time. We're going to go back in time, all the way back to the early seasons of photo finish. And I'm going to walk you through kind of my thought process, what I was looking at, why I think it's working, and why I think it's not working. And we'll go from there. So again, just big, it'll be in the ticker down below here, but nothing tonight is financial advice. So always remember that. And I cannot, well, I've had some success with these strategies that I'm going to be discussing. I cannot guarantee that you will have the same success or even better success than what I've had. So let's dive into it a little bit. We'll go right in. I'll go to my stable and we'll look at my racing horses. So of my racing horses, I'm currently racing 5 horses. We have Moderated Origami, Song of the King, Balanced Count, Natsukashi, and Yugen. So all of these horses are age 2, except for Natsukashi, age 3. Natsukashi and Yugen are siblings, brother and sister. So Natsukashi is a breed. This is kind of like a breed that's very important to me. because Natsukashi is a breed of Hakanai and Wabi Sabi. These are the two tickets that I originally bought. Um, and then I finally bred them together, and this was the first outcome was Natsukashi here. In 23 races, we have 16 podiums. So I mean, what is that? That is a 69.6, we'll say. I didn't want to run up to 70 because 69 nice. Podium rate. So very, very happy with this horse. We look at the ledger, 7,400 Derby profit. Very, very happy with this horse. Love the white coat color. It's very easy to spot in the races. Largest purse sitting at 4,600. So this one, I'll kind of tell you, I've talked about this before on stream, but what I was looking for, what I was thinking was, hey, I want to start with a female because I believe that's going to be a cornerstone of photo finish. And especially with the Gen Zero, I bought what I thought was going to be very strong, and we're going to circle back to this later on, for the price at the time. I don't remember what I paid. It was a few soul for her, but basically it was B+. I didn't care so much about the grade because I knew that the grades would come with time, and that I knew and trusted that, the team would provide races for players that were in those lower grades, and that there was a chance to be successful even if you were in the lower grades. Very non-pay to win. And so I had big trust in the team. So I was looking at, well, what's a population that's not super populated at the time? LTS wasn't. What has a strong kind of boost match here? 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. There's also I believe a 3 on the PFP match. So I see theoretically some, strong breeding potential, low grade, and also very high stars, star maxi, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too. And then for Hakanai, a similar kind of thing is, well, I want to match. I want my, my tickets to be the same track preference so I can breed them together. Worst case scenario, something happens. I don't have funds at the time to breed outside of my stable. Well, at the very least, I can breed these horses together in my stable, and get an idea of, what that would be like. So I really wanted to match that track preference. Again, was looking at high stars and high boosts here from the Gen Zero. And we got a few matches here. I think it's 2. And again, super high at the start was 0, but I was okay because all these other ones were very, very high. So that was kind of what I was looking at when I bought these. And what it just speaks to my overall strategy, which again is something that I've kind of talked to on stream before too, which was in whether it's photo finish or any other game, the amount of variables that you can control or bring onto I'll say like a successful kind of side of things, then in my opinion, theoretically, the less you have to worry about in terms of the decisions you have to make for racing, breeding, etc. So by being a star maxi, by being a boost maxi, by realizing grade is something I can grow into, you can grow into stars, you can grow into other things. I fully realize that. I'm eliminating variables, and so I'm eliminating, in theory at least, and this has changed. I've seen this in full outcomes. That just because they've got high soft doesn't mean they're necessarily the best on sloppy. But at least for that Gen Zero, I wanted to try and maximize for that. So when it came time to race selection, I had a pretty good general idea of where to race these horses and had less to think about. John Franco over on Kick says, bought an A+ full, named it Debawi. Probably butchered the shit out of that name too. Could you look at it? Let me know what you think. Thanks, Cyrus Aristotle. Nice. Yeah, so we'll take a look. The racing info, again, because of my optimizations, is a little bit out of date, but we can do that definitely at the end of the stream. That's no problem. So now if we look at this is all it's all building together. Just trust the process here. So if we look now at um let's go a little forward in time. We started with the tickets. We'll go to retired. And we're gonna sort by age, oldest to youngest, right? So yeah, Bambera, these are some Gen Zeros. And then we go to the next oldest, right here, Jishin. So Jishin was one of my first breeds, if not my first. And this was a very intentional breed. So if we go, what's 24, 14, and 8 is 46 out of 66. That's what? 69. I'm noticing a trend here, chat. 69%. It's rounded up. It's really 70. 69.696969. Nice. Podium rate on this horse. And my theory, and this is so now we're getting to the territory of what I've not talked about publicly before. I've talked about Jishin on stream. I did a season of 0 to Hero with Jishin. We followed along with him and his performance. It was out there. I showed things. I just didn't say them. I wasn't trying to hide anything from you all. That was not the intent. The intent was really to just test, because I said, hey, I think I'm onto something. Let me test this. Let me look into this deeper. Let me see if I can replicate these results. So if we look at Jishin's bloodline, we've got Wabi, who's relatively, pretty much unraced, but that's that Gen 0 ticket I talked about. With 5 races and 3 podiums. And then we have Weekend Moderator, absolute legend. Shout out to Mo Knows, Bigfoot Stables. 13 out of 28. Mo has said himself that he feels this horse was misraced. And so what I noticed here was something, and I'm giving you my big kind of hint takeaway, was something very specific about these horses. And why I went for this breed was because if you look at Wabi Sabi, same track preference, very high stars. Again, I'm trying to eliminate, outliers, questions, and I like the Via Bloody Alice. You can see now the boost 233 323. Go to Weekend Moderator. The boosts 233 323. My theory was, well, they're both high star, same track pref, and same boost, so that within there, again, in theory, and they both had good matches, so they should both be decent breeders, but within kind of the peaks and the valleys of those subgrades, because they're both Gen 0, and this is all hypothetical, this is all theoretical, that maybe we could take the success of one and the success of the other, and we could kind of match those, because those boost profiles were the same, that maybe there was some alignment there. And so from Weekend Moderator and Wabi Sabi, we got Jishin, who just crushed. 63,000 Derby profit, 66 races, 152,000 career earnings as an A-. I love this horse. So then I said, okay, well, let's make another one. Let's look at T Money, who is the sister of Jishin. Same star track pref profile. A-, 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 A+, A-, A-, B+, A-, A-. So different boosts, but same distance preference for both of these horses that I saw. I ran them both 4, 5, 6. And T Money had 9 out of 14 podiums. And again, I had the benefit of, I already had the data from Jishin. It's a 64% podium rate. And just very, very happy. Career earnings, 21,000. Largest is 5,100. Jishin's largest was 12,000. Absolutely wild. And again, these are A-. I'm not playing in, crazy high grades, crazy high stakes, nothing like that. It just, here's what I know. I'm eliminating the stuff that doesn't matter or I don't think matters as much. Get rid of the noise, as much noise as possible, and then just stay laser focused with that. And so then I thought, well, what happens if I were to take in Wabi's a B plus, and Weekend Moderator's an A minus. And you take both those, and it's like, well, they both made A minus. Are there other horses out there with the same boost profile that I could try this experiment with? So now we're going to go down here. We're going to go to Origami. In Origami, same track pref. A minus, B plus, A minus, B plus, B minus heart, which shocks me. B plus temper. So I might try and make a better Origami at some point. But I bred Wabi with Lorber. Because same boost profile. B plus with the B, got a B plus. 8 out of 11 podiums. 72%. B plus. And I said, hey, well, where am I going to race? 4, 5, 6. Same thing. Because again, this is my theory of, well, if I try and match that Gen 0 profile and like within the subgrade, I'm maximizing based off of the boost from that Gen 0 to like get a peak of that subgrade in theory. Again, I don't know. I can't quantify this. Let's see what happens. So now we have. So I said, hey, okay, let's take this Lorber, same boost profile. Let's take that. Now let's breed that. B plus. So we got Lorber, Wabi Sabi, B and a B plus into a B plus. We have a B plus into an A that made an A. And sometimes, not always, but when you kind of get that roll that's on the higher side of things, that's not, in the middle, it can end poorly. If this was an A plus, this probably on paper, statistically, might end more poorly. But in 10 races, we are 7 out of 10 podium rate. Largest purse is 3,000, 1,279, and again, same boost profile. So one boost profile, same boost profile. Take the offspring, match that with the same boost profile of Lorber and Wabi Sabi. And again, I'm racing 4, 5, 6, 70% podium rate. And now I have an A grade instead of an A minus grade. And so what kind of I'm trying to do is see how far I can extend this. Could I take this same structure and style up to an A plus? Could I take it up to an S minus? Don't know. We'll see. The experiment is still ongoing. Now, if we go back to my stable now, and we go back to my racing horses. So Natsukashi and Yugen are brother and sister. Just younger. Wabi Sabi and Hakanai. 3 out of 4 podiums. And again, 16 out of 23. Balanced count, 2 out of 4. Song of the King, 2 out of 6. And we talked about moderated Origami, 7 out of 10. All 3 of these are the same boost profile experiments. So Song of the Swing, only 3 out of 10. But Burgoo King matched. So as I went down in grade, same boost profile, go up. Balance count. Brave Leap and Lucky. Same boost profile, made basic strategy. 4 out of 9. Podiums. And then with Arcturus. And we are now 2 out of 4. So why I think this... What's going on, Mango? How you doing? Here's kind of Viper Active. What's going on? Joining late. Can't wait to rewatch what I missed. Yeah. So why I think this works, why I like this, why I don't like this. I think that oh, and so I also ran and looked at the podium rate for so I call this type of horse an identical. That's what I've called this internally to myself. uh is I call this an identical because you're identifying you're taking the identical boost matches and you're matching those up and you're breeding with those. And um and so for identicals, they have approximately an 8.6 higher, there aren't many of them, um podium rate than non-identicals do. And that is when you are racing on track preference. And so if you are 0 star in condition, it gets rid of those racing on yielding. So you're either racing soft or firm on softer. So I said, hey, there could be something here. Now, what has helped with moderated origami is that through Jishin and T Money, I know that I should probably be racing 4, 5, and 6 with balanced count and Song of the King. If we look at Bloodlines, so that's 2 out of 9, and that's 3 out of 4. I don't know if because this was Execute was a little weaker, that maybe that's throwing things off. We got 4 out of 10. It's not great, but it's not horrible. This is gonna be skewed because of breeding, but we got what 4, 8, 22, 4, 6, 8. So it's at 19-2. So it's just negative. Song of the Swing. Is I didn't have those distance preference locked in. And if you look at just kind of the quality of the parents, it's not as strong. So 11 out of 37, not as great. 3 out of 6, maybe not. 4 out of 9 is pretty solid, though. So basic strategy doing all right. That's 14 out of 35. That's not bad. And we got 2 out of 4. So the question that I still have is, is it the identical that's driving it? And again, based off that 8.5% increase in podium rate, could be. Or is it the fact that they are winners in the bloodline prior? Or is it a combination of both? Like, it becomes kind of like a chicken and the egg. So is Jishin great because he's an identical? Or is Jishin great? Those are revealed. It went back. But or is Jishin great because the parents are great? Or is it both? Tired by age. And again, also knowing where to race these horses, I think helps a lot. And having that information. So that's it. That is my breeding theory. Again, not financial advice. I can't guarantee outcomes. If you would like a list of identicals for any horse that you are breeding with, let me know, and I will provide that for you. Shoot me a DM. I don't have a tool that just shows it. Maybe that would be something that would come in the future. My number one kind of objective on my roadmap right now is really to just work on performance optimizations and get that set up. And then once that's done, then we can start going on more kind of bells and whistles and that kind of fun stuff. What's going on, Latuda? Thanks for tuning in. Seleman, thank you so much for the follow over on Kick. I appreciate you. So we got some other questions from Viper Active. Do you buy breeding reports? Back up your theory before testing? No. So you may have missed the first part of the stream, but and I didn't explicitly say this, I'll say this now. So when I started, I had Wabi Sabi and I had Hakanai. And so if we look at Wabi, Um, why is that not showing up? Oh, because I'm on racing. Look at Wabi. I said, what are like, how can I breed this horse that will reduce the amount of noise? And that's how I identified weekend moderator. Because I said, well, I don't care about grade. I'll grow into grade. I know this has strong track preferences. I want another horse that has strong track preferences. What are other factors that go into these Gen Zero horses? And the thing that stood out to me were these boosts. And so what I did was I tried to find horses that matched the boosts that I thought, performed well and bred there. So I don't have I bought one breeding report. I was refunded. Someone was interested in breeding with one of my horses. And so they said, hey, I'll pay you, half or pay you the full even. I think it might have been for an official breeding report. I don't buy breeding reports. Just because I have nothing against them. I think they're awesome. I don't have all the PFPs. I can't get them for free. I want to take my budget within PFL and use that for racing and use that for breeding. And so kind of what I created is what I like to call or dub like a free breeding report. This is available to everyone. Again, it's going to be a few days out of date. And John Franco, if you're still here, let me know that horse name. I'm not seeing that in PFL. If you could retype that out, that'd be great. And so my kind of free breeding report is right here, and I'm going to shoot this link over in both chats. But basically, this is how I view things. So here's Hakanai and Wabi Sabi, right? So again, going back to my breeding theory, I want to eliminate noise. I've maxed out or near maxed out my track preferences. What's something that I can breed off of that maybe match up or amplify? And it was these boosts. That's kind of the core theory behind it. So if we go back to my stable, we go to racing. We look at Natsukashi and Yugen. We look at the bloodline. We see Hakanai and Wabi. So we go over to the breed barn, which is the link I just threw in chat. And it's already preloaded with Hakanai and Wabi Sabi. This can be a little finicky, these inputs. Copy and paste the name directly from PFL. It's going to immediately tell you if the horse is inbred. Nope. And then depending on the number of offspring, and if you're breeding fast, so if you're going from like a B plus to an S, I would definitely use these sire and dam grade filters. I would absolutely use the progeny grade filter, again, depending on kind of the numbers. And then track pref, if there are a lot of different track prefs, there's only one here, I don't have to worry about it. So I'll kind of walk through what I consider to be my free breeding reports here. So Hakanai and Wabi. Okay, so here's what happened. We had an A- horse, 3 left, 3 turf, 3 soft. So here we see Hakanai Wabi. We see their track prefs, their grades, their subgrades. 1 of 1 blood. It will list all of this out. None and none. You see the different track preferences, races, their fleet figure percentile. So 25th percentile, 50th percentile, aka your median, 75th. Your best win distance, 11 and 6. Profit and profit per race. So here's Simufold 2.0. Simufold 2.0 says, hey, that horse is probably going to be an A-. Both Natsukashi and Yugen are A-. Cool. Awesome. Good job, Simufold 2.0. Here's what it expects kind of that to look like based off of all breeds from the sire and all breeds from the dam. Then you have your direction, surface, and condition. So it predicts a 3, 3, and 2.5. I got a 3, 3, 3. Now we're going to go down here to grades and subgrades. So this is what I consider to be my version of the wicks on the breeding. We got to move this chair up a little bit. And so if we look here, we can see kind of the overall grade. Give me 1 sec. Gotta shoot a message quick. So here we have kind of the main grade and the wicks of that. So of between all of Hakanai's breeds and all of Wabi's breeds, we are all the way down to B and all the way up to A+. And then if we look at the subgrades between all of these, we can see, all of these different subgrades. Now, the average, and it's color coded kind of by weight. So the darker the green, the higher confidence, the more foals have been there. So we see, okay, wow, there's 9 that have been A minus. It's probably going to be an A minus. And yep, both those horses are A minuses. If we change this, so we can see now, well, Wabi has bred with B all the way up to A plus, and Hakanai has bred from B minus all the way up to A. So you kind of see kind of what you're working with. Now, this grade number will most likely be higher than all of these subgrade numbers. Why? Because it takes into account if a horse is retired or not. And we know that primary grade before a horse is retired. We don't necessarily know these. So here's again the likelihood of how the subgrades will break down. So A minus, A minus, A minus, and then Heart. Probably it could be any of these. B plus to A, and then Temper probably B plus. But then this looks into kind of that simulated average. This is the actuals of the average. So you will notice some slight discrepancies, but take that all into account in terms of getting that full spectrum. So now if I look at, well, the sire, Hakanai is an A minus, Wabi's a B plus. We're going to filter this down further. So unretired. So we got 2 A minus, 1 B plus. We'll take this a step back just for illustrative purposes. And you're going to see, okay, probably an A minus. Start's probably going to be low. Speed's probably going to be low. Stamina, maybe not great, but finish pretty solid. And Heart and Temper. And guess what? I'm racing these horses at 10, 11, 12. So if we go back, the sire grade is an A minus, we'll go back and say, hey, let's do everything. Again, it's a very small sample size. It's not a guarantee, but this is the actual outcomes. Now, if you look at the direction, that's probably going to be a 3. We're looking at the these bars for like kind of the density as well as the color. So if I see a super dark color, super dark white with a white behind it, or it's a big circle, it's probably going to be in that range. So I see there's a light white and a dark white. That's at 3. It's probably going to be a 3 direction. It's probably going to be, I mean, this is above, that's 2750. Rounded up, that's probably going to be a 3 surface. Condition definitely could be in that 2.5 range. There's a little more volatility here. There's a nice big circle there. Again, you can mouse over it. You can see which horse influenced this. Wabi Sabi influenced this one. Here's Trinket. Okay, here's the actual horse, Trinket. Horse Jishin. You see, sorry, the dam, the sire. It'll tell you when you mouse over what is influencing it. And then this is your aging chart. So, again, mouse over, sire and dam. So the red is Hakanai. The green is Wabi Sabi. And the thickness of the line is how many offspring there are. So you can see there are 8 horses at age 2, 8 at 2. And we can see, okay, age 2 to 3, average fleet figure, sorry, the median fleet figure increased. We had a little dip here for Hakanai at 4. Maybe that's an outlier, maybe not, because it's only one horse. We don't know. But then shoots back up at 5. And then whereas we have a nice peak here at 4 for Wabi and 5. So I'm thinking maybe my peak might be somewhere in this 4.5 to 5 range. You can see things definitely start to taper off. Then we go down here, we can say, okay, here are all of the offspring from all of these different breeds. You can see every single breed. Wabi with Neptune. Wabi with Splattered Paint. Wabi with Weekend Moderator. Here's Jishin and T-Money. We talked about those horses. You see direction, surface, condition, races per horse, their fleet figure percentile, best win distance, average finish percent, very high profit. Look at this. Positive, negative, 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 huge positive, positive, huge positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, negative, positive, 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 and profit per race. And so when, again, this is kind of why I call it like the free breeding report and why I use it. When people are like, oh my God, yeah, it's going to be a great breed. Well, what are you optimizing for? That's my question for you. Are you looking at performance? Are you looking at grade? Are you looking at subgrades? Are you looking at age? Guess what? You get all of that here. And this is part of the reason why it's like, okay, I look at Wabi and Hakanai, and it's like, there's some quality here. This number in profit is in the positive. I see some longevity into age 5. Looks like we just got kicked out of kick. Oh, we're back, I think. And I have real live wicks based off of offspring. So if we switch this over to weekend moderator, then it's going to say inbred no. Boom. Wow. Okay. Yep. So there's 5. Again, there's one horse there, but one there. Oh, that's Hawkeye weekend moderator. That's why it's breaking. Sorry, I chose the wrong one. Wabi. And we'll change this to weekend. You can type in any horse in either one of these columns, but keep the sire, the dam. It's going to help clean things up a lot. Here we go. And look at this. After 4, weekend seems to really taper off. But there isn't a lot for Wabi. But Wabi is much stronger at 5. So maybe this will take some of that life into future grades. We have LTS and LDS here. So in this case, I would take the track preference and I'd switch this to LTS. Get rid of that one LDS horse. And again, I get real wicks based off of offspring. See, wow, that profit's pretty negative. I don't feel great about that. But we have a much larger sample size here. Wabi's a B+. Yeah, this can help you too. Like, if you want to breed up, what does that look like? And then weekend's an A-, I believe. What is weekend? What is weekend? Weekend is A. That's why. Weekend is an A. There we go. So probably going to be an A-, which both of those horses were. Strong. The profit still wasn't great. But what do we see here? So we see, wow, here's one. Weekend Disciple, profitable, 44%. Crushed at 12. Crushed at 4. 7. 8. And so we see, okay, there's other 9, 4, 7, 8s that haven't been. If you see a 0 here, that means the horse has not. And again, you can see weekend moderator. If we go down to, here's origami. Boom, profitable. Full of origami, hasn't raced yet. If we look at Wabi, here's Jushin and T-Money, crushed. 4 and 8. Jushin, I think because it looks at your percentile of like winning. So like if you had 2 races at 8, you won once, that's a 50%. But if you had 10 races at 4, you won 4 of those 10. Stronger, bigger sample size. It doesn't factor that in yet. It's on the roadmap. Don't worry about it. But it gives you best win percent, 8. I use that as a benchmark. I go off of that. How did I run at 8? Am I in that 50th percentile? Am I around that 56 fleet figure? Don't know. Let's see if we look here. So, well, 57, that's better. 75th, that's better. And again, you can compare against other offspring. So again, the original question was, how do you look at breeding reports? Do you pay for breeding reports? I have one breeding report in all photo finish. I use this as a breeding report. This is my version of it. And it gives me a starting point. It doesn't necessarily tell me the exact distance to run at. It gives me an idea based off actual offspring data, probable outcomes of performance. You use this to guide your race distance. Look at profitability here. I should probably add a filter here for that. I think that would be pretty cool to see how that adjusts and changes. If we look at, hey, just show me profitable offspring. I mean, right now you can just sort by racing versus not racing. You can get aging information. You can get track preference information, subgrade information, parent information, inbreeding information. And then you can tweak it too. Do you want to look at everything, or do I want to look at, well, how have they bred with similar, primary grades of, the mother and the father? So great question, Viperactive. Um, but yeah, for my testing was just based off of those boost profiles. Great, great, great question. Um, John Franco, doesn't look like you're still here early in Australia. I get it. I appreciate you tuning in. Any other questions in chat? We have over 100 of you here. I really appreciate it. For those of you that missed the beginning, we'll be taking a little break. For a minute here. And with that little break from video content, and that goes back to my hint, or kind of my reason why I'm taking a break from video content, is this background behind me may be changing soon. That's what I'll say about that. But still going to be on X. Shoot me DMs on Discord and X. I'm not super active in actual Discords themselves. I'm still going to be around. Bring me onto your spaces. Shoot me over an audio invite for anything. I'm absolutely there. It's just got some things going on, some great things going on, some exciting things going on that will kind of take some time away from being able to do video content. So yeah, we've got, wow, numbers keep going up. 112. Any other questions? Any other things I can talk about? Any other things people want reviewed? Again, for those of you who aren't currently following me on Kick, I would greatly appreciate it. But if you don't, if Kick's not your thing, that's fine. I appreciate you tuning in general. I hope you found some value out of tonight. But let me know any questions you have. I'll stick around for a minute here. Across the board, episode 36. Episode 36. Just gonna flip through and check chats quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that was my my breeding theory behind my performance now, and how things have gone. Episode 36. Just gonna flip through and check chats quick, make sure. Episode 36. No problem, Darkside. No problem. And then, yeah, those of you that are in my referral program, thank you for signing up. The link that's been popping up here is for referral. I do get benefits from that. That being said, I also want to try and provide value. So we had a little mini vote, a mini discussion. If you're in my referral program and you do not have an official photo finish horse yet, more than just a trainer, guess what? You will be getting one. You'll be getting one soon. And at least until supplies run out, anyone who joins my referral program will be getting a real photo finish horse. These are not horses that I just bred to try and get, crown stimmies. These are horses that I do put some thought into, and you are getting, some of these are new or unique breeds. So you'll be getting kind of first crack. It will be nothing that I have raced. These will be unraced foals, so you will have that full experience for yourself. And again, any guidance I can provide, we've got a special little X chat going between us. There's no alpha. They don't get early access to anything. It's just really discussion. People sharing successes that they've had, things that they've learned, resources, even that aren't mine. People have talked about other creators like Lino, who I love. I think he's a great guy. And I appreciate that because it's all about learning and it's all about growing. It's all about having a great time with this great game. So let's see. What else am I missing? Shout out to Wisco Doug, and his buddy who showed up at the meetup. We'll see if I can pull that tweet up. Had a great time. We talked photo finish for 6.5 hours, chat. 6.5 hours. That's how wild it was. We'll go ahead. We'll do a little zoom. Well, yeah, there you go. We can click it. Big shout out to Wisco Doug and his buddy. Great guys. Great conversation. Strategic conversation. I reviewed some of their horses live. We talked about racing. We talked about breeding. And it's been it's a wonderful meetup. It was a small group, but it was 6.5 hours Absolutely great time. So shout out to Wisco Doug. Do me a favor. If you're not, go ahead and drop him a follow. Um, I'll throw his Twitter over here. Drop him a follow. Say, hey, MJ sent me. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. So definitely go ahead and do that. Um, yeah. So going back over to chat over on Kick, Viper Active says that's all. Yeah, I'm assuming that's to your question about breeding. So again, I was breeding Gen Zeros. We only had Gen Zero at the time. I was really just looking at what are the outliers, what are the things that could be affecting horse performance. At that time, I felt like I had eliminated a bunch of noise, so I looked at boosts. Only 6 hours. Yeah, six and a half, 6.5. We actually got kicked out. Not because we were rowdy. I mean, we were rowdy, but it was great. Because they were closing for the night. So yeah, it was a great time. I hope to do it again soon. If you are in the Wisconsin, Chicago, Illinois, Minnesota, kind of Midwest area, you want to get together, shoot me a DM and let's coordinate something and make that happen again because it was just an absolutely great time. Again, you don't get anything necessarily new or unique. You'll get alpha, but it's all things that I will share publicly. All things that it's nothing I'm hiding. I try and keep everything transparent because my goal is to make sure that everyone enjoys these games and gets the most out of them. Spending a lot of money. I just got out of a spaces prior to coming on stream, and it was heartbreaking listening to people talk about how much money they put into a game and their assets are basically worth nothing right now. And that crushes me. And that just with a passion, in a past life I was a teacher. That with education, with technology is really why I do what I do. Again, I know my site's going to be a few days out of date. Please be patient. It's not going anywhere. It will be updated. I'm working on some performance optimizations in the back end. And it just, I want you to get the most out of your time and your experience with these games because not that developers don't hide anything, but I want to just bring to light aggregated information that's already there. You can see it yourself. I just want to make it easier to digest, and with that, improve your experience. Hopefully, you are more successful, however you define that, and then we all just kind of win. And throwing it back to my favorite phrase in all of Web3 is we all grow together. So yeah, that's kind of my little rant there. Again, if you have any questions, I'll stick around for a little bit. Please let me know. Happy to talk breeding, racing, anything. We could talk about anything that's even not photo finish related. Ask me my favorite color. I don't know. What do you want to know? I'll do my best to answer. Let's see what we got. Vibractive says, yeah, I got in 3 months ago. Was exactly the wrong time. Yeah, so it's timing in these things is tough. I'm fortunate to be in a spot where I put in fiat a bit ago, and I don't care about getting a penny back. I don't need it. It's not life savings, it's not retirement, it's none of that. It's money I said, hey, I'm here for the long time. I want to see this out, and just trying to stretch it as far as I can. So, and to this day, I have not taken a penny out of any project and converted it back into fiat, from anything. All right, Vibractive. Vibractive, what's your favorite color? Okay, we can play this game. Favorite color is blue, green, or purple. I love a good forest green. Purple's not bad, though. Purple's underrated as a color. Underrated as a color. Purple's a solid color, but I love a good dark green. I also like, I don't know if you can consider like turquoise green, where that falls on the spectrum of things. I love a good like turquoise or like teal. But like a deep forest green is fantastic. Yeah, purple for SSS plus, can't go wrong with that. Yeah, Darkside says, "Yep, nothing in years and years, nothing out." Yeah, love that. Love that. Love that. Um, let's see. You know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna drop this in again. This is a shout out because it was such a great time, and Wisco Doug was just great guy. So we're gonna do a Wisco Doug giveaway. Give away a horse, a foal, unraced. All you have to do is, and if you're already following him, you're still in. You have to uh give him a follow. If you're not following him, drop him a follow, and just say MJ sent me, and tag me. Tag me when you say like MJ sent me. And the requirement is if you watch the stream, if you saw it, so then if you know, you know, some people may fall into that, whatever. I'll do my best then to gather all those people together. We'll do a duck race, and I'll give away a horse for anyone who says MJ sent me on Wisco Doug's profile, whether you're already following him or not. Yeah, we'll do a little fun in-person meetup. Again, if you're in the Midwest, would love to connect, would love to get together. I love in-person meetups. It's just, you get so much more out of them, in my opinion. So much more out of them. All right, I'll do a quick so yeah, let's see. Whoever does that, tag me, say MJ sent me. And we'll go from there. Just gotta check messages quick. Cool. NBA draft is up. Started 15 minutes ago. So yeah, anyone who does that, we'll do a cutoff of July 1st. Go to Wisco Doug's profile. Say tag me, MJ sent me, and you'll be you'll be entered into a giveaway. Follow him, but can't follow links. What's the profile name? Yeah, so it's his profile name is right there. If you want to follow him. DSALOGA. If you already follow him, it's fine. But yeah, just go ahead, drop him a follow. And the other thing too, I want to stress again with my time away from video, I'm still on X. Shoot me messages on Discord. If you have questions, what do you think of this breed? What do you think of this racer? How should I race this? Someone who I love in Web3, and I just think is a wonderful human being, message me. He's like, "Oh man, I'm just feeling a little frustrated lately, and I'm just not doing great with my horses." I just, no questions asked, gave that person some tips on where they should race based off of my free tools at mjinformatics.com. And sure enough, he's like, "Oh, I never would have run at this track condition." Runs the next race, wins it. And I want to build that excitement. I want to build that in people. So please, if I'm not on video, message me. And again, I'm probably out of it now because I had a bad race today. But go ahead and drop this. This is we'll call it the humble brag of the evening. As of Gap Data, shout out to Gap Data, best rankings in Web3, in my opinion. I was the #1 best finisher all time in photo finish, barely by 0.1% as of a day ago. I'm top 15 in profit percent without stimmies. I'm also very high in their, what is it? Win percent. Probably top 15 there, not better. And how I've done this is with my website, mjinformatics.com. Everything that I've done to find my success, outside of strategies that I think of separately, which like the breeding one I shared with you tonight, but anything in terms of racing, which is what we're talking about here right now, has all been done based off of my own website, which you all have access to. It is all free. That breed barn that I shared with you, those free breeding reports, those are all free. Everything on my site is free. We all grow together. and let's enjoy our time in Web3 while we're here. While we shout out to absolutely love that. Thank you, Darthside. Darthside, here are early entries so far. So yeah. Oh, I'll throw this over on Kink. If you or on X, if you were on stream tonight and need the link for the giveaway, it's here. You must say, you must follow the instructions I gave on stream to be entered. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, done and tagged. Thank you, Darthside. Checking chats. All right. I think we'll go ahead and sign out then. Shout out to Baron Darthside for again the continued support. Really, really appreciate you. You've been around for years and years and years. Wonderful man. Drop him a follow too if you're not already, chat. Let me pull up your account. Why are you not? Why is Darth Talon coming? That's weird. There we go. Here we go. Mixed reality, man. That's what it was. Appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Drop Darthside as follow. Great guy. Absolute great guy. Appreciate you all for tuning in. I will be back in video in a bit. But again, DM me, message me, call me in Discord if you want. Don't care. And let's connect. And I want to make sure you have a great time in Web. No problem, Temple. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And yeah, we'll go ahead and we will call it again. If you are not in Photo Finish yet, would like to, if you use my referral link, yes, it is affiliate referral link. I do get benefits. But while supplies last, the supplies are decently sized. You will be getting a free Photo Finish horse. Not only the trainer, but like an actual horse that I intentionally bred, not just for the sake of breeding. But I hope I can't guarantee any performance. But want to again try and provide value for you there. There we go. The monkey's in. Viper, nice job. And the giveaway for Wisco Doug's profile goes through July 1st. I'll be doing a duck race. I will be recording that, and I will be posting that video on X. But please, yeah, slide in my DMs. I'll talk to you soon. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for